Today, so that the yogis will know how to do walking meditation, Sayadaw will begin to talk about walking meditation in detail. Walking meditation is not ordinary walking just to relieve stiffness or aches. In Pali, it's called jankama, and this means to walk back and forth. We start out at one place and we go to the end of our walking path and then come back. So we go back and forth, and this in Pali is called jankama. The in-breath and the out-breath occur at the nostrils. If you want to know the in-breath and the out-breath, you need to put your attention on the nostrils where the in-breath and out-breath happens. Like when a visitor is coming along the road, you go to the gate or to the entrance where they're coming, where they're going to enter, and you greet them. The rising and the falling appear at the abdomen. And therefore, to know the rising and the falling, we put our mind, our attention, on the abdomen first. And then we're ready to observe the rising when it happens. Same with the falling. We put our attention there, and we're ready to observe the falling when it happens. The action, called lifting, moving, and placing, happens in the legs. So we put our attention on the legs. And since we walk with two legs, when the right leg is stepping, we put our attention on the right leg. When the left leg is stepping, we put our attention on the left leg. So the attention changes from leg to leg according to which one is moving. The walking meditation is not as stable as sitting meditation. We have to place more effort, and it's a bigger responsibility to observe during the walking meditation. Yesterday, Sayadaw spoke first about how to observe at the grossest level. For one step, one should observe one part, and then 2 parts, and then for each step, 3 parts. It's possible to observe more than 3 parts, but at present, 3 is enough for the yogis. So if we have 1 hour of walking, then divide that hour into 3 parts, each 20 minutes. And for the first part of the hour, walk just observing each step as one, with one note, left step, and then right step. So when one is about to lift the right foot, to make a step with the right foot, we have to put our attention on the right leg. We have to apply mental energy to the foot that we're going to move. And that's why Sayadaw said that it requires more effort. It requires 2 levels, 2 kinds of effort. So with every step, their mind should be there. Every time we step with the left foot, the mind should be on the leg. Every time we step with the right foot, the mind should be there. This effort, mental effort to keep the mind on the leg that is moving. And to begin with, we need to prepare ourselves. Okay, I'm going to try to note so that I don't miss a single step. It's important to give ourselves that initial preparation. We should also bear in mind that if we can observe each step, we can get purity of mind. And we should understand this, and we should have faith that this purity of mind comes about through walking in this way, through this meditation. And we should also have the desire, the zeal, to get this purity of mind. If we practice like this, then we'll be able to observe effectively. And with the second portion of the hour, lifting and placing, it's the same way. We should prepare ourselves in advance, have the idea that I'm not going to miss a single lifting, a single placing. I'm going to try and get each one. So there should both be effort, or virya, and chanda, desire or zeal. I'll try to observe so as not to miss. And if we have this initial effort, initial desire not to miss, then we'll be able to observe effectively. And so it's very important. And as Sayadaw said the other day, although we have eyes, there's no need to take any interest in the sights that are going on around us. Chakumasa, yata, and to. Although we have eyes, we should behave as though we're blind. And there are sounds in the environment, but there's no need to take interest in them. So to behave as though we're deaf, although we have ears to hear. And no matter how much general knowledge we have, no matter how much learning, at this time of practicing, just put it aside. Just put it aside for now and do according to the instructions. This is very important. And also, in moving about here and there, one should move in the way that a sick person moves. Slowly. And Sayadaw mentioned the analogy from the text, Visama bhumi bhage udaka purita sakatangvya, that one should move just like one is trying to push a cart full of water, full of jars of water over a rough surface. We have to push the cart carefully so that we don't spill the water. And if we're observing 2 or 3 parts during the walking meditation, we should do this slowly. During the first part of the walking meditation, when we're observing just right step, left step, there's no need to go slowly. So, because this is just observation at the grossest level. So we should do according to these instructions, and only then will the walking meditation be effective. When doing the walking meditation during the first part, observing left step and right step, we do this in part to relieve the aches and stiffness. So the concentration, samadhi, is not yet very continuous. But as long as our mind does not go anywhere else, it's okay. And then after doing the first part, breaking it down into 2 parts, lifting and placing. And this too has somewhat of a nature of relieving stiffness. So one has to apply aim and effort each time one lifts, each time one places. And when we can do this quite comfortably, quite easily, and accurately, then we can go to observing 3 parts. In lifting, moving, and placing, the moving is in between the lifting and the placing. And this 3-part observation has to be done very, very slowly and carefully. As Sayadaw mentioned, Visama bhumi bhage udaka purita sakatangvya, like pushing a cart full of jugs of water over uneven ground. Only if we move slowly and carefully like this will we be able to observe the mind and matter that are really there in the moment of lifting, in the moment of moving, in the moment of placing. Only then will we be able to know them clearly, and we can also come to see how they are related as cause and effect. In the moment of lifting, there's a series of intentions to lift, and this is mental or nama. And in Pali it's called saramana Dhamma. It's a Dhamma, or a thing, which knows. It takes an object. And rupa, matter, is called anaramana Dhamma. Anaramana Dhamma. It's something which is known, but it can't know anything itself. So the Buddha spoke about these two, that what knows the object is nama, or mind, mental. And what is known, does not know the object, is rupa, or matter. The yogis should know about this in a general way. The matter involved in lifting, by itself, if there's no mind involved, there's no intention to lift, then that matter, that leg, will just stay right there. It won't move at all. But when there's the intention to lift, then it lifts. And if there's the intention to lift the leg quickly, then the movement will be quick. If there's the intention to move it slowly, there will be slow movement. So according to the mind, the matter, the lifting, the matter involved in lifting will occur. And by itself, rupa, or matter, is just like a lump. It knows nothing, and it will just stay there as it is. Only when there's the mind, the intention to do something, does it make any movement. It's similar to an electric fan, which is connected to electrical wires, and there's maybe a switch to a source of electricity. So if we press the switch, if we don't press the switch, then the electricity doesn't flow, and there will be no movement. The fan won't move at all. But if we press the switch, if we turn on the electric switch, then electricity will flow and the fan will move. Mind and matter, nama and rupa, are like this. Until the switch is pressed, there won't be any movement. And there are also switches which control how fast the movement occurs. The movement could be slow, it could be medium, or it could be fast according to the switch that's turned on. So in the lifting, in the moving, in the placing, if there's the intention to go slowly, the movement will be slow. If there's an intention to go moderately, there will be moderate movement. And if there's an intention to go quickly, then there will be fast movement. The mind controls the speed of the movement. So, in lifting the foot, there's a series of intentions, and this is nama, or mind. And due to the mind, the foot gets light and it goes up. And this is physical Dhamma, rupa, or matter. A fan, there's usually the main switch connecting where we turn the switch on, turn the electricity on at the wall. If that main switch is off, then the electricity won't come. And also the fan has its respective switches. And if these are off, then there won't be any movement. So when the main electric switch and then the fan's switches are both on, then the electricity will flow. And it reaches the motor of the fan, and then the motor, from the motor, the blades turn. So all these parts involved in the fan, the metal and plastic, they're just dead lumps, but dead pieces of matter. But because the electricity comes, then these things move. And in the lifting, the moving, and the placing, the mind produces materiality, matter. And therefore, when there's no mind involved, there won't be any mind-produced materiality, mind-produced matter, and so there won't be any movement. But when there's the mind involved, then there will be movement. It's controlled by the mind. How fast the movement is, it could be slow, it could be medium, it could be fast. It's all controlled by the mind. And if the mind is not there, if the intention to do something is not there, the matter or physical part will just be like a dead lump. So the mind is similar to the electricity that flows in order to produce the motion of the fan. And it's like this in any movement we make, in the moving, in the placing, bending, stretching, blinking, opening and closing our eyes. All matter is just as though it were dead if there's no intention involved, if there's no mind involved. In the moment of lifting, what is really there is a series of intentions to lift the foot. It can't be denied that this is there. And because of this intention, the foot becomes light, stiff, and it goes up. And this is matter, rupa. If we want to know this series of mind and matter, nama and rupa, that are really there in the moment of lifting, we have to apply mental energy. And there also must be aiming, focus. This is a jhanic factor. So we must always apply these factors. First of all, energy. We need to make the mind stick from the very start to the finish of the lifting movement. And in order to do this, we apply ardent energy. We need to be alert and active. It's very important. And in order for the mind to be there from the start to the finish of the lifting, one has to always also aim accurately. This is a jhanic factor. If these two are present, ardent energy and accurate aim, then sati will surely stick to the lifting. It won't run anywhere else, and this is called bhavana. And this type of mind occurring again and again is also called bhavana. At the start of the practice, one's not able to do this effectively. We have to work. We have to work at developing this. We have to always practice. And if we do this, if we keep on trying, then we'll know when we've missed. And we'll also know when our aim is not accurate, when we don't see the object head on. But when we are able to observe the object head on directly most of the time, then we'll come to know the lifting. At least we'll know the position of the foot, that is the manner of lifting. And one will also know the form of the leg. But what one knows, because what one is knowing, the lifting, is mixed up with form and manner, it's not yet clear. What we know is not yet clear. But if we keep on paying attention, we will come to know. And an analogy Sayadaw used is that when we chew the food that's in our mouth, we will come to know the taste. Well, the mind is on the food first of all. The mind knows the food. It's not yet knowing the taste. And then it starts to know the taste together with the form of the food. It doesn't know the taste as something separate from the food at first. And it's similar to this when we're sitting and observing the rising and the falling, or when we're walking, observing the lifting, the moving, and the placing. First of all, we come to know the form. So in the lifting, moving, or placing, the form of the leg. Or we come to know the form together with the manner, the position. So in lifting, moving, and placing, we aren't able to see only matter or only mind yet. But we're building up. We're working towards this by keeping on trying. We're building up the ability to see. So in the lifting, in the moving, in the placing, there are mind and matter, nama and rupa, involved. Have I seen it yet? Okay, there's no need to think about, am I seeing it now? Don't think about it at all. Just try to note, observe effectively. If we think about what is lifting, why is lifting happening? It's completely unnecessary. We just should observe, because when our momentary concentration is developed, then we will know automatically. We will know in the lifting, we will know mind and matter occurring in a pair. We will know in the moment of moving, when we observe the moving, we'll know mind and matter, nama and rupa, occurring in a pair. Observing the placing, we will know mind and matter, nama and rupa, occurring in a pair. And we will know this very clearly. In that way, trying all the time to observe lifting, moving, and placing, when virya, sati, and samadhi, effort, mindfulness, and concentration arise, we should think about what is happening in our mind at that time. Ardent effort, or virya, overcomes laziness. It gets the upper hand over laziness. So there's no slackness in the mind. Virya, energy, effort, takes its place. And when one is aiming so that the mind meets the object accurately, then the mind doesn't slip off the object. So it doesn't go to thoughts about sense pleasures, thoughts about trying to harm others, or other thoughts, kama vitaka, vyabhara vitaka, or vihimsa vitaka, thoughts of ill will and thoughts of trying to harm. So the mind has no wrong objective at that time. The mind's objective is good, and the mind is therefore pure. And then sati sticks to the lifting, the moving, and the placing. And because of sati, there is rekha varana goti. Rekha means that the mind is protected. It's being defended. Avarana means that it's like closing the door to the defilements, and goti means that it's secure from the defilements. So to the extent that we can apply energy, ardent effort, accurate aim, and sati sticks to every lifting, every moving, and every placing, then there will be khanika samadhi, or momentary concentration. And this means that the mind is clean in that moment. So if we can observe like this for 1 minute, 60 seconds are in 1 minute, so there will be 60 moments of this clean mind occurring. And if we take it at a rate of 1 observation every other second, then still in 60 seconds there will be 30 times of this clean mind occurring. So in 5 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, one can calculate for oneself just how many moments there would be of the clean mind. And this mind that contains virya, sati, samadhi, virya, accurate aim, sati, and khanika samadhi, is clean and pure. And this is mental development, or bhavana, to create this mind and to keep it generated again and again. So if something of the same nature occurs one after another, then power or energy emerges, comes out, is developed in a special way. When one understands the benefits of satipatthana practice and has the attitude that I'm going to work respectfully and carefully, with this, in 1 week one will experience special things. And needless to say, in 2 weeks special things will occur. So if one isn't yet able to do the walking meditation well, or do the sitting meditation well, then it shows there is some lack of respect for the practice. So if there's nothing special happening in the practice for a yogi, and if the yogi continues in the same way, then the yogi is not likely to experience anything special during their practice. So if one wants to experience a purity of mind, great peace, and to get the benefits of having come here, one should work with respect for the practice and make one's noting continuous. Don't take breaks. Just keep on trying. So if one doesn't heed the urging of the teachers, which is done wanting your welfare and happiness, with metta and karuna, the teachers are urging. So if one doesn't heed the instructions, if one doesn't pay attention to the instructions, then there won't be any difference in the yogi's practice in 1 week or 2 weeks or however long the yogi practices. And the teacher, if they see that the yogi is not able to say anything about their practice one day after another, the teacher will conclude, this yogi just doesn't respect the practice, and they won't really try to take care of you. Because of that, they see that the instructions aren't being followed. So, on the other hand, the yogis who apply the instructions are loved and cared for by the teachers. And if one wants to receive their love, be loved and cared for by the teachers, then do according to the instructions. And Sayadaw concludes by saying that he hopes that you will all be able to work with respect for the practice, with meticulous care, and with continuity, so that you will be able to get the benefit of having come here. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.